This is it. It is Monday before the draft. So this is my final prospect video with Broshmo, and we are talking defense in a whole. Let's jump into it. What is up, Finn fans? Final video with Broshmo, doing prospects. I am going to have him back on after the draft is over to get his idea and his thoughts and feelings, or we're going to have a discussion. This time we're going to have a discussion about if we like the pick, if we didn't like the pick. Because I noticed some guys were like, you don't really push back on his thoughts and feelings. Well, that's because I have him on as like an expert. So I'm more trying to see what he thinks and pick his brain and yada, yada. So there's not much for me to push back on him. But real quick, got to shout out some new members. And David Cox and Alvin Spence. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. Again, if you'd like to become a member, it's the join button next to the subscribe button. And if you would like to join the Patreon, it is linked in the description. Got a lot of cool content going straight to the prescription, to the Patreon. So if you want to go over there and join that, I'm going to, like I've been saying, I'm going to start showing you guys how to edit photos, how to edit video. I've got a ton planned just for the Patreon. So if you want to go over and follow over there, it's linked in the description. So real quick, again, rundown of the rest of the week. And then we'll get to me and Broshmo talking about defense in a whole. We're going to talk defensive line, edge, linebackers, safeties, and corners, all of it. Tomorrow, I'm doing my mock draft with trades. I'm using PFN. I'm using, I think it's called Draft Database, and I think NFL Mock Draft Simulator, and then I think I'm going to use FanSpeak. You have to pay $20. I'll pay the $20. I don't care. If there's any other sites that you want me to use that have trades in them, where it's, your turn, all of a sudden the trades pop up, I can accept or decline, comment them below. And for FanSpeak, comment below what settings you want me to use. So that's tomorrow. Wednesday, I'm doing a video where we are talking strategy, what the Dolphins are going to do in the draft, what I think they should do, players, yada, yada, who I'm looking at, who I want them to target. Will they go back into the first? I'm going to talk about that on Wednesday. If news breaks, trades happen between today and Wednesday or Thursday, you're going to get an extra video. That's just how I roll. Thursday, I will be live. Draft starts at 8. I'll be live at 7:30. Friday, draft starts at 7. I'll be live at 6:30. I always go live about a half hour before anything. So, game time, 15 minutes, all that stuff. So I will be live Thursday. I will be live Friday. I will not be live Saturday, but you will get a draft recap after the draft is over. So when the draft is done and the Dolphins made their last pick, I will make a video looking at everyone we drafted and my thoughts and my opinions, all that stuff. And then we go on to the offseason. But after the draft, the schedule is going to be released. So I got a lot planned. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Be sure to do it if you like what you see. Other than that, enough rambling. Let's get on to what me and Broshmo talk about with the defensive prospects. Broshmo, defense. We're talking all defense, but obviously linebackers is most important. But I want to know how you doing today. How's your Sunday going?
Sunday's going well. It's a very busy Sunday, but it's going well. I had sushi, so
ooh,
it was good.
I love sushi, but it's just too expensive. It's just...
Yeah, it is.
Especially for the amount of sushi I eat, it's just too expensive. It's way too expensive. Yeah, we'll talk about all defense, but obviously we're gonna focus on linebacker. So real quick, do you see any? Because I don't see the Dolphins taking any defense outside of linebackers for their second or third round. Do you see any late round defensive linemen, 6th, 7th rounders, surprisers, Cameron Wake style that don't make the NFL but then come back and surprise the world? Late round defensive line.
Very specific there.
I need you to find that needle in the haystack. But do you see any like late rounders, either interior or edge, that you're like, keep an eye on them? They might pan out to be something good.
There's a couple. I got this one guy who actually used to go to the Miami University.
Hmm.
Ended his collegiate career at Arizona State. Nesta Jade Silvera. The
Wow.
dude is very feisty, very feisty. He was at the combine, man, and didn't have the best numbers. Like they were all right, they were whatever, but the dude was like the life of the D line in terms of just personality, just glowing. Just seems like he's gonna be a really good locker room guy. But 6'2", 304, like honestly, like all his measurements, they were in like the 50th to 60th percentile, which is pretty darn solid. I'm okay
Mm.
with that. His production was fine. Uh, Nothing spectacular, but a guy that could probably kick inside and be solid. I mean, if we're talking late round guys, like you're not really gonna find like those guys here. If you're looking for like especially stout run defenders,
Uh,
good luck. This class has so many small guys.
oh,
So many.
really?
Yeah. So like because I just finished doing a 7-round mock draft today, and it was
Uh,
like when I wanted to like key in on like a run defender, I was like, my gosh, like I got to really like shoot down the board here. Like there's really only a handful of them. Another guy out of Boise State, Scott Matford, I'm actually a pretty big fan of. He lit up, I believe, was it the NFLPA Bowl? Oh, it was both NFLPA Bowl and the Shrine. He did pretty darn good. Tested really well. For 4.8 140 was good. He's tested very well in the agility and the explosive drills, and honestly pretty darn solid for boys this past year. Had 28 pressures, 3 sacks, 11% win rate. That's like fine enough. Like
mm.
he's very unpolished as a pass rusher, but like the big thing with this guy is like gap control, discipline, will be a good run defender. Those are two guys that like jumped to my mind on the interior. This is way bigger edge class. Like it's really variety is the spice of life. You can find whatever you're looking for in this edge class.
I see what you're talking about too, because I'm looking at that at the chart, and it's a lot of 6'1" guys, 6'1", 6'2". Like you said, they're
Yeah.
small.
Yeah, and you're in
They're
that 1 to 2 percentile at that height too.
which is crazy because that's
I know,
that's
right? Doesn't seem that small, but
it's pretty
here we
small.
are.
Um, looking at edge defenders, you got. It sucks that we can't really talk about the first round because you got like Will Anderson, Tyree Wilson, Miles Humphrey, like just some nice guys, but we'd have to talk about, BJ Thompson,
Oh,
Thomas,
please.
and Coom. Like these are the guys we'd have to talk about. But I don't. Can you see the Dolphins adding edge? I know it's a 6th, 7th rounder, possibly under, but like you got Agba coming back.
Yeah.
Sealer. Like, can you really see the Dolphins adding an edge defender in this draft?
If they have special team experience. Which, like, I think the one that to key in on for me is Lonnie Phelps out of Kansas. Like, I'm
Mhm.
actually a big fan. He doesn't really fit what we currently have.
Uh-huh.
Like, doesn't really like profile. He's not that big. He has sub 33-inch arms, so the length's not great. He's just a high motor guy who it's beautiful. He's got like the predator locks going.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, dude, it's sick. Initially played at Miami, Ohio. So,
Ben
hey,
Roethlisberger.
Miami. And never only started one game despite like being their sack leader for like consecutive years. Said, screw this. I deserve to be a starter. Matter of fact, I bet you I'll bet on myself in the Power 5. Did that at Kansas. Had a remotely solid season for Kansas past year. 19% win rate's real good. Like I said, he just doesn't hit a lot of the measurements like we currently have on the squad. He's not big. He's not long. He's just a spark plug.
It's like he'll get after you.
Eventually.
Yeah. Let's talk about what actually.
There's tape of him in the Texas game where and I was watching for Bijan, right? And multiple times where Bijan like breaks it to the outside for like 10 plus yards, and it was Lonnie Phelps running him down from behind.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You always like those guys, those high motor, like Jalen Phillips style, where they'll line up on the left side and they'll tackle you on the sideline on the right side because they will just chase you down. Like,
Yeah.
he might turn into something. You never know. You
I'm
never
hoping
know.
at the very least, like he has special team experience. Like he was on the kickoff team, so
That's how you make it. If you're 6'7" undrafted, just stay on the hip of the special teams coach. You'll make the team because
you know,
it's important, very important. The position that I want to talk about. I've done a lot of mock drafts, and people who are on this channel have watched it, and I got a favorite. I got a guy that I love. Will he be at 51? I don't know. He was there a few times for my mock drafts, and that's Jack Campbell.
whew,
Oh God,
he might be a linebacker one.
that's
For
what I'm
some people.
saying. Like, oh my goodness. What are the honest possibilities that Jack Campbell's there at 51?
I think in this draft, it really depends how teams like how they rank like the top 4 linebackers. I feel like it's going to be everywhere. Like
Gotcha.
so,
Yeah, because I've seen some mock drafts where they have the Dolphins taking Trent Simpson at 51.
yeah, like Trent Simpson and like Drew Sanders. Those two are like. It's weird to say that they're the most unpolished because like Dion Henley, the other guy you talk about in here, is only like in his 3rd year of playing linebacker. He used to be a
Mhm.
former wide receiver
Oh
at
wow.
Nevada and used to return kicks, and now he's playing linebacker.
And it's
So
funny too because I'm looking at your chart here, and there's a lot of green, especially in that 40 time. It's
yeah,
like these linebackers now 4.43, 4.54, 4.59. Like,
but you look at the size, it's all red.
yeah. Like Trent Simpson,
Ah,
he's 6'2", 234, ran a 4.43, but then you said you have Henley, 6'1", 225, ran a 4.5. Like they're small, but they're fast. Yeah, you got a lot of a lot of red in those
yeah, that's
sides.
why I think with like linebacker, like Jack Campbell's kind of like the safe floor.
Hmm.
Like he may have moved like you can really practice for like the combine, like for like the agility drills and whatnot, where I mean he was phenomenal at, and it's just it doesn't really match the tape. Like, okay, yeah, he's not like a bad athlete or anything,
Hmm.
but he's not like like the other guy, the other 3
No.
we talked about. And you
Yeah.
just know you're getting a guy that's a solid tackler. He's going to do enough in coverage where even if he's not going to be a guy that gets splash plays, he will be a minimal gain guy where, okay, you catch underneath. Those are the only yards you're getting. Like,
Yeah.
good luck, fat chance. Like, that's just who he is. He's disciplined, playing his gaps. Not really a disruptor, a guy that'll make play in the back plays in the backfield, but he'll make them at the line. He'll make them to the sideline. He's just kind of viewed as the safe option if a team might be more willing to bet on that than taking like the upside of the other 3 guys.
And to me, I think that's what entices me about him because there's so many times we watch our defense play, especially linebackers, and they're just wafting on tackles and trying to smack their legs, and it's just like, can you just wrap them up? But if it's not Jack Campbell, do you think it's anyone else, or do you think it's Jack Campbell or bust when it comes to that 51?
I think it could be Henley because like Henley's at least his game is built into the mold of like a Fred Warner. Like he's got
Okay.
great length. He moves very well across the field. Being a former receiver, he understands route concepts, tendencies. So he knows how to, at least underneath, if it's in front of him. There were a lot of times he gave up big plays behind him. But I
Mhm.
mean, I think it's just a matter of getting that feel. And like he was a sure tackler, like surprisingly being a former receiver, he's a sure tackler. The problem is he gets just stuck in the traffic far too often, and he has trouble like stacking and shedding and disengaging from blockers, regardless of who they are. This could be the slot receiver.
That sounds like Jerome Baker. Like I like Jerome Baker, and I think he's done some good things for us. But once Jerome Baker gets grabbed, he's just like, come on, man, shred out of that thing. Go after the dude. Yeah, and I don't see like there's possibilities of the Dolphins taking a linebacker with the 6th or 7th, but to me, the biggest talking point is, you know, 51. And I do think that I think like a little bit of a spoiler for a video I got planned, but I do think that with 51, if they don't trade up, which we all heard the rumor about what Chris Greer said of them calling him for get back in the first. I think they take BPA at 51, regardless of who it is. And speaking of BPA at 51, talking corners, who are some of the best corners that you could possibly see at 51 that the Dolphins might surprise some people and do BPA at 51 and just take the best guy that's there?
Could probably start with like Tyreek Stevenson. Like I've only heard a few people that kind of like peg him as a fringe first rounder. Another guy from Miami. That's actually his hometown. Initially went to Georgia, got homesick, and transferred to Miami. He has experience in the slot. He's got safety size at 6 foot. I think it's like 198. It is 198. Got it. And he moves well. A lot of his stuff is guesswork though.
Ooh.
Like he played a lot of press man. So I don't know how that'd be good for like Vic Fangio's like matching concepts and whatnot. So it's like there's Emmanuel Forbes who's 166, unprecedented. So but he's a ball hawk.
This is him right here. This is he's a stick.
Yeah, I bet you his playing weight's like closer to 175, but he was listed at 180 for Mississippi.
Oh my God.
I was like, I know that ain't it, but I didn't know it was that. But like he's got good effort in the run game. He played under Zach Arnett for Mississippi State. They ran like every zone coverage under the sun, but like he also graded very positively in press man scenarios. Ball hawk, 6 career pick sixes, most in college in FBS history. It's just that size. That's size their team's going to be able to get around that. Like he gets a lot of first round like love as like that next tier of corners. Julius Brents might be a guy out of Kansas State. He's huge, moves well, not nearly as fast as like Tyreek Woolen, but a similar build. He's more of like a lateral, I would say, version of Woolen. Woolen was just really good straight line. Cam Smith, South Carolina. He's a guy that's kind of perfected that peanut hammer, that peanut punch. Yeah. So like he'll meet guys at the catch point, and he's gonna be clawing for the ball all the way down. He's shown good ball skills. He has experience in the slot, so there's that. I'm trying to think.
I'm looking at DJ Turner, and I'm seeing that 40 times, but I'm also seeing he's a small man.
Yeah, like he played a lot of press man at Michigan, and it's like that ain't gonna he ain't gonna be.
No, he's getting thrown.
Ain't gonna fly in the NFL.
They're gonna say, "Get out of my way." Even Tyreek's gonna be like, "Get out of my way."
Yeah, Clark Phillips could be interesting though. Like he's a pretty good like off coverage linebacker. He's really good with reading what's in front of him. And the only problem is like if you're playing like matching defense, if a guy's going across the field, that's when he kind of loses guys. They're gonna step on him. So it's like I don't know. Like there's a lot of corners that could be considered in that second round area. You could even mention Keely Ringo, but is he a corner or is he a safety? So
that's and they with Fangio's defense, they'll probably throw him back there if anything. Because I'm thinking the future. I don't know if Xavier Howard's going to be on the team next year. They have that out after this year. Is Cater going to be his replacement, or are they going to look for his replacement now? And then after that, I don't know if Jalen Ramsey. They got to start getting ready to, with the overturn with these vets, and this is kind of when you start looking at it. And then the last thing we'll look at is safeties. And I have seen some mock drafts where like Jordan Battle someone had Jordan Battle going to Miami at 51, which I don't know if I see a safety at 51. I feel like if they were to go that route, I feel like they probably would have went for Jordan Poyer instead of going after who they did. Do you see that happening?
Nah, they're probably going to UDFA. Like even this this class is pretty thin at safety. Like there's guys, but Yeah, even like Jordan Battle 51 would suck. Like
More
he's
like
fine. He's a high floor guy, but it's like
uh-huh.
it's not like the best range. He's like targeting call waiting to happen, dude. There were a lot of headshots from him at Alabama.
Oh, jeez.
Just needs to lower the strike zone.
It's like Chris Greer loves his Alabama guys. Overall, looking at this draft, I probably asked you this already, but I'll ask you again. Deepest position in this draft class.
I think it's edge and corner.
Okay, so you could probably get a good corner in the third if they wanted to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what is the shallowest quarterback?
Mm. Well, I mean that's it every year.
I know you get like four good ones.
I think linebacker, but there's even some solid enough guys.
Mm-hmm.
Safety's pretty thin because it's weird because like there's some safeties that are like you're probably a linebacker in the NFL. Like there's like JL Skinner who's probably profiles better as safety, but needs to put on 20 pounds. Marte Mapu out of Sacramento State's one of my favorite guys. And I think like he could play safety or linebacker. Like
That's
I think
awesome.
he's that good.
Like a Simmons type.
Yeah, exactly. So like those are like kind of probably the two thinnest. Offensive line's just not that good either. Like if you can't get them like early day two, then good luck. Great to have pick 51.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, if only we didn't tamper. We would have had pick what 20 something.
20...
20...
Yeah, I mean we could honestly reach at 51, but like a lot of the guys there aren't that like ready. Like
And I'm tired of that.
Jalen Duncan, not ready. I mean, he could be a run guy, but like pass protections all over the place. Tata Tua. Cody Mock, like he's probably more of an interior player in the NFL just because he lacks length, but his movement skills are like good for the Dolphins. Like that's perfect for wide zone blocking scheme. It's just his anchor's not there yet. So he's not going to be starting anytime soon, or at least this year. It's just, yeah, it's bad for the Dolphins, not the class.
Of course. And Chris Greer comes out and says that Austin Jackson's the starter, and he just
then why are we even talking offense?
makes you so happy. It's just this is great job. Last question I want to ask you has nothing really pertain with the Dolphins, but Stetson Bennett.
Mr. Back-to-back natty, and I'm talking natty light.
What? That's my question, right? That's I love that he just like
he's like Stetson Bennett. I love that guy.
He
used to be his old drinking buddy.
What? Why is he so bad? But he won a national championship. I don't get it.
I mean, he won a national championship at Georgia, the team that is literally pumping like the most talent in this class. Like Stetson Bennett, he doesn't have like the size. Like the size is bad. Like if people want to hate on Bryce Young's size, then okay, cool. Hate on Stetson Bennett. What is he like? 5'11"? Where is he?
Yeah, he's lighter than
5'11". Yeah, 192. He's an older prospect, so that arm ain't getting better. That like in terms of strength, zip, that size, that height, that ain't getting better.
So he was on for the ride. He got his championship.
He was there for the ride. Like, and he's not a bad quarterback. He's just not an NFL quarterback. Like he's a great charismatic guy to have like in your locker room, but like what is he doing other than that, man? Place holding?
He'll be in the XFL. Like what's his face who just threw what? Like 9 touchdowns. He used to be on the Browns, I think.
AJ McCarron?
Yeah, you go. He like broke a record through like 9, 12 touchdowns in the XFL. Good for him. I'm glad he's
McCarron had size though, I think.
Yeah, McCarron had certain aspects to his game. It was more mental for McCarron. Yeah. Well, bro, Shmo, thank you so much for doing this series, man. I really appreciate it. If you guys don't go over, he's going to be live streaming all 3 days because he's
eventually I'll get to the Dolphins.
And then as soon as the draft's over, he's moving on to 2024 because he's
Man,
out of his mind.
it's gonna be
So go
well,
over, subscribe to his channel. Maybe I'll have you on after the draft. We'll talk about who they drafted, your feelings, and all that stuff.
yeah, that'll be a quick video. All 4 picks, maybe some of our UDFAs.
And if they trade back into the first, it might be even less picks. It's gonna be a fun one. But Broshmo, thank you so much for stopping by, bud.
Thank you. You have a good one.